I was just really excited because I didn't know a lot about the history of the building. I knew it was historic, and I had heard a lot about it, but I had never been in there even for any of the previous businesses. So I was just very excited to see the place and find out what the history was. First impression was it looked beautiful, and I was really excited just to get in there and see what we could find, like I am for every other episode that we've done.
So how did your attitude change once we got down in the basement?
When we got down in the basement, I don't know. I'm one of those people that just picks up on like weird vibes. I guess that's the best way to say it. And I did start to feel a little uneasy, but I kind of just told myself that maybe it was just because it was like a super creepy old basement, and due to the age of the place, that it wouldn't be outside the realm of reason to think that maybe something just a little off kilter had happened there. So I just tried to dismiss that feeling and just continue with the shoot.
So when we were in the one part with the insulation in that one closet, you paused and you pointed the camera up into the ceiling. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I have to admit that I thought that I saw something out of the corner of my eye, and I wasn't sure what it was. For all I know, it was like a mouse or something, like it was up in the insulation in the basement. But I also thought, maybe there was something cool, like some kind of relic up there, or something that should actually catch my eye. But when I, was looking through the camera, I didn't see anything other than, just the insulation and the exposed structure. And I still have no idea what I saw or what even made me look there to begin with. So I don't really know.
So let's talk about the bird.
Do we have to talk about the bird? So the bird, I've never seen anything like it. I really like finding skeletal remains of animals and things like that. I have a very personal appreciation for the beauty of the dead. On our last shoot, I found a raccoon skull. So, normally I would be very excited by something like this. But this bird was skeletal remains, but it was upright as if it were a live bird, sitting perched. And it was also splashed with something red. It looked like blood, but I can't say for certain what it was. So at that point, I actually did get a physical chill and feel very uneasy.
And then finally, let's talk about the beer mug.
The beer mug was, honestly, the beer mug was what prompted me to just want to wrap up and get out of there, because I had seen the beer mug moments before. Everyone had seen the beer mug moments before. And then to turn around and see that it now had a handprint on it that appeared to be blood or some sort of other viscous red substance, and to know that no one had entered or left the room and we were all together, and that there was no way that any of us could have done this, or it couldn't be a trick. And everyone actually started to get a little accusatory of each other. Everybody kind of thought that one of us had messed with it as a joke. And when we realized that none of us had or none of us could have. Just that inexplicable moment, like that in my head is when I stopped being a skeptic and just got very nervous and very uneasy and just could not continue with the shoot.
So do you think it's haunted?
Whenever we do any of our episodes, part of the fun of our show is that we don't really go into any of our locations with much information. That way, the viewers get a chance to discover things with us. They get to watch us metal detect and dig or research, and then when we find things, we include the process where we find out what it is and try to identify it so that it's like they're there with us. So, I mean, I did not go into this thinking about, like, is it haunted or whatever. I went in this for the history, thinking that we might just find some cool relics like we do at every other shoot. There was no reason for me to think that this, was a show anything related to paranormal or haunting. That's not what we do. But personally, flat out, I mean, I don't really know if I would use the word haunted. Something is weird there. There are inexplicable, scary things that go on there. And I'm at the point personally where I really want to learn more, but I don't know if I would go there again. So, I guess we'll just have to wait for everybody else to see what I caught on camera, and you guys can tell me.